Thank you, guys. As my Uncle Jay said, I'm quite simply overwhelmed by the outpouring of compassion from all the lives my father's love has touched and affected. Through my father's unexpected death, grace has shown in more than equal measure through all of you. I'm so honored to have heard so many perspectives on my dad's beautiful life this past week, and especially yesterday. When the football team came off that bus, I could feel my father's pride. To those special boys, as you become men more and more each day, please remember my father. He loved you as extended sons. Remember his example of integrity and compassion. It will serve you off the field and throughout your lives. To the church, as my family was embraced by the community here at Woodside, we have been so honored by your compassion. When I moved away to Chicago to start my own family, I saw from afar the pure joy and passion he took in impacting the family here at this wonderful church. To see the fruits of his investment and the tears of compassion from everyone here speaks to the measure of the man my father was. I look outside at the beautiful gazebo, the bridge, the cafe. It all fails in comparison to the faces, the arms embracing my family, not only in this time of need, but ever since they've become a part of this wonderful church. For those wondering if the larger-than-life man you knew was the same in his private life, let me tell you, you only saw a glimpse of his character. The quality of my dad was not something I can fully describe in words. His shoulders were strong enough for every burden ever whispered by my mother, my brothers, my sister. He was our rock, our absolute pride. He worked and worked and worked until God led him to his eternal rest. His drive and determination for his family equipped me in every facet of my life. As I've started my career, many of you may not have known that my dad, besides working with his hands and volunteering, he was a wonderful businessman, a vice president of a TV studio, started his own marketing firm. He was skilled in every aspect of his life. Whatever my dad did, he excelled at. He made a passion of his to know it more each day. I take that with me. He was Gampa to my new son, my absolute joy. That twinkle that he had was for every member of our family. But when he held my son in that huge barreled chest, as he held every one of us, you'd fall right asleep. There was inherent security in his arms. My personal struggle with the Lord is my selfish desire for my little boy to know the more of the immensity of his grandfather. My only prayer is I could be half the man, half the father that he was to me as I lived for my little Josh. Whenever I begin to despair, though, I remember that when I think on the way the world should be, why my father's death ought not to have happened before I was done learning from him. I remember there is no should without God. If this is from nothing, there is no ought, no way it should be. This is not a meaningless world we live in. It is this calling for something greater within us, that the world isn't the way it should be, that is one of our surest signposts of God's grace. I'm so proud that my father's life echoed this grace. Not only did he equip those around him to be better fathers, brothers, wives, family members, he provided pure and loving security. He was a fortress of refuge. His counsel was patient and kind. The weather was to see through an obstacle more clearly, character that needed refining, or a goal that needed to be reached. My dad was the listener, the arbiter of that success. Through his love of people, love of the Lord, and burning passion for his family, my father's time here was a symbol of God's treasure exhibited early for all of us to witness. God's everlasting love and reconciliation was channeled through my father and reflected back so much stronger through all of you and the lives he affected. My dad wasn't all quiet, gracious presence. There's a side to him he held for the closest, the family only. He was an unrelenting teaser, an expert in playful torture. From when he was younger, tickling my aunts to the point of tears. The toe popping of my Uncle Joe. He had the full Nelsons, the dunking. He had the perfect huge paws for that laser splashing in the pool. He would, when we would wrestle, he perfected the viper punch. He would just close up and just give you the worst. You couldn't get around it. It was so big. His forearms were like a foot wide. Loved it. The all in love. The playfulness of my father, I believe, actually echoes the playfulness of our eternal Father, just perhaps without the toe popping. My dad is the best man I've ever known. He led me through years of football. He rubbed my arms when I would get hit by a pitch in Little League. It gave me the confidence to stand back up at the plate. He held me when I was frightened and gave me wise counsel when I became a man. He cheered me on in every play on the sideline at Troy High. Good series, #1, as I'd walk off the side. He was my coach from the moment I was born to the moment he passed away. Every moment a lesson. A patient picture worth painting, even with oftentimes an impatient student. He saw opportunities to teach in every aspect of our time together. Some lessons I am still even learning. He was more than a dad, more than a father. He was my anvil, the iron that sharpened me. But his work here was complete, and it is our turn to pick up his mantle of love, gentle yet immense presence, and the life of service for Christ. Thank you all for loving my father. He loved you more than you'll ever know. Dad, I love you so much. I'll miss you only for a short time, but ever so painfully. You are still my mirror of what I want to become, and my primary example of truth, beauty, and love. You became a man after God's own heart, and you'll ever be the man of mine.